Welcome to the latest edition of Millennial Boom with Diane Faith and Stanley Roberts, where almost no subject is off limits. Now, here are your hosts, Boomer Diane Faith and Millennial at heart, Stanley Roberts.
We are now.
I can't hear anything. I thought we were.
I told you that we were going live.
No, I thought we were gonna try to make sure I could hear first. Well, hi guys. Sorry, I can't hear anything. We always have tech problems.
Hold on. I want to make sure you can hear. Oh, I know why you can't hear. Ha 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 ha.
We're supposed to do
Ha 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 ha.
live.
Go. Keep talking. They can hear you. You just can't hear. If I didn't plug in your headphone all the way.
Oh, perfect. Yay, Diane's back. Hi guys. Yes, I'm back. I can't hear anything right now. But
You will be in a second.
not that you guys are actually trying to talk to me, but I am here. I am back. I'm trying to get my audio.
Yeah.
Oh wait, why is this oh, oops. Oh, here it is. Okay. I wasn't even up to speed on the actual. Oh, there you go. What? Now I'm too loud. So you didn't plug me in. See how he does, you guys? This is why I was gone last Sunday. Just kidding.
All right, guys.
Why I was gone last Sunday. There's nothing here. No one else is talking except for the person sitting right next to you. Yes, that's true. But the issue is I was trying to make sure, like when we start and he does the opening, I can usually hear the opening. And he goes, "We're going live." And I said, "I can't hear the opening." So instead of trying to figure out me being able to hear the opening, he just does it and then we go live and then I can't hear anything. So
But there's nothing to hear unless we had a guest.
no, I know there's nothing to hear.
All right. Remember before we had headphones, you didn't care about that.
I still wanted to make sure I heard the opening though, but then
Alright.
I didn't realize that you were going to put us on live.
You know me.
He likes to make me look stupid.
I like to be live for the sake of live.
Okay, so yes, I'm back. What's up, guys? Oh, is Stanley pregnant? What?
Who wrote that?
Dean Kendrick.
Don't listen to Dean Kendrick. Dean Kendrick's just
Really? What kind of question is that?
Yeah, you know it's Dean.
Your volume is too low now.
Yeah, I'm turning it up. Hold on, it's over here. How about now?
Hi, Terrence. Good evening.
So there we go. Mics are hot. The block is hot.
Yes, Betty Veronica. 49ers who won. Woo, woo.
49ers. Blah, blah, blah.
You're just mad because they beat your Steelers
Blah.
last week.
Yeah, you guys won 2 games, and that was your winning streak. Second longest winning streak was 2 games.
In franchise history.
In franchise history.
Why are we even celebrating that, though?
I don't know. Why is that a thing?
I have no idea.
2 wins. And anyway, Dean, if you make some more pregnant comments, I'm going to have to block you completely because we don't do that here. We don't shame people here.
Yes, let's not do that.
We're in a special zone here. It's love and peace and happiness. Love and happiness. Oh, so if you guys have been paying attention, last week we had the ride of our lives. We had a chance to go to Dreamforce.
Yes, we did.
So why the Steelers? No, Stanley must be pocketing snacks in his hoodie jacket. No, there's no snacks in my hoodie jacket. So stop it, Dean. Leave it alone.
Why are we even talking about that right now?
I know. Anyway, so we went.
You should use this. You should use this.
So what did you think of
Dreamforce?
Yeah, you went.
That was really cool. I didn't know what to expect. I've never been to Dreamforce before. So I went into it with no expectations, just being open and like accepting everything that comes my way. It is there are a lot of people. There was a lot of energy. A lot of energy, a lot of walking, a lot of trying to figure out where things are because it was huge. I think Seth Meyers was at Dreamforce. I think that was his picture. So there were a lot of talks or sessions going on. And I think I want to say, I feel like I saw his picture on the comedy part, but I'm not sure. I know that, what's her name was there? Now I'm drawing a blank. The Kristen Bell was there, the actress. She was there for the comedian portion and something else.
Well, this thing, let's keep in mind, though, this event.
Now it's loud.
I turned it down, mine down.
Oh, I had to turn mine down.
Keep in mind that Dreamforce is huge.
It is huge, yeah.
And tales of the amount of people there. So to give you an idea, when they had Dream Fest, I think the stadium holds like 30,000 people.
I had no idea, but there were a lot of people there.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see something.
So Dreamforce was like not what I expected because I didn't know what to expect. But overall, it was a really, really cool experience. I didn't even know what it was. I honestly didn't know what it was going to be about.
So keep in mind, so Bill Van Ram wrote, I can see Dreamforce building from my window. Now, Dreamforce is not what you're thinking of. It's Salesforce.
Oh, yeah, the Salesforce.
Dreamforce is their event they have in the Bay Area every year. And what I didn't know about it, and which I learned, and first of all, how we ended up there was just amazing in itself. Because, but when we got there, we thought it was just a giant party of some sort.
I didn't think it was.
Well, I didn't know because
I had no expectations.
But it was like you go there and literally it's a well-oiled machine. So everything is like you get your badges. The badges are pretty cool. We took a picture with them, and then they told us to don't show the picture because people were trying to make copies of the badges.
Yeah, and if any of you guys have been to Dreamforce at all, let us know in the chat. Just because you probably can relate to what we're saying, if anything.
Excuse me.
You okay?
Yeah, that's my water. Anyway, so
it was in the freezer.
I took it out. But anyway, back to Dreamforce. So day one, we checked in. It's most people are from out of town, so they're from like different states, different parts of the country, but they all have one thing in common: they're all connected with the organization, which people don't know what Salesforce does. Well, if you know what Oracle does, then you know what Dreamforce does. Salesforce, sorry. If you know what Oracle does, then they do pretty much the same thing. It's
a software.
It's not.
They provide
data aggregate maybe.
They provide different kinds of. I want to say. From my understanding, they provide different kinds of software.
Well, they say,
and over the years, it's been cloud, it's been data systems, data analyst systems.
Well, they took a picture at the end of the show, a bunch of people, and it had a big balloon that said say no to software. So I'm thinking that they found a way to get rid of software and make everything cloud-based.
Yeah.
So, and they're all interconnected. So if you get one, it connects to another one, and it's supposed to be seamless. What I found about it, which when we went to the keynote speak, was they were trying to focus on nonprofits and trying to get them all the help they need to make their nonprofit flow smoothly. And it was good for me because we were like, we're in the infancy stages of a nonprofit. So if I could learn something to make it run better or work better, I'm all for that. So that was kind of cool. So, and then day two, we walked around, we hit up a bunch of shows.
Sessions.
And sessions, and that shows. Most of it just talking about, how to make things better or how they're worse. I think when Mayor Gavin Newsom showed up.
Governor.
When he showed up, they talked about how clean it was and that he could eat off the street. I'm thinking, no, you can't. So you cannot eat off the streets, but there was like a bubble put around it. So it was like, that whole area was just cleaned up and it looked good. But the question that Mark Benioff asked was, and the mayor and the governor asked, why can't we do this for the whole city? Not just for this event.
And why can't it happen every day?
And so interesting. But we're not going to dwell on this forever, but it was an experience that we won't forget. Now, we wanted to buy some
I'm laughing because we also went to Dreamfest, which it was a benefit. It's the benefit for UCSF, Mark Benioff. So
yes.
The
Benioff for the
for UCSF hospitals, the children's hospital. So the Foo Fighters were the ones that performed, and I laughed because he called them food fighters, and I was like, oh god!
I thought they're gonna throw food at each other. I didn't know. Okay, so for the record, I don't listen to Foo Fighter music. I don't know anything they do. I didn't know any songs they done, but we went, and it was it was an experience to learn more about it. And we got trapped on the ninth floor for like an hour.
No, it was like 20 minutes.
It was an hour in my head.
Of course it
because
was.
We got in this elevator to go to the rooftop, and then the elevator never came back up again, so we had to finally figure out how to get back down. That was an interesting experience.
But you met some fans, though.
Met some fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of stuck there.
No, but it was cool, though.
It was cool.
We were chatting with them for a little bit.
Yep. You listened to Willie Joe. Willie Joe, the rapper, just the one song he made with me in it. That's about it. Anyway, you might want to know who Dean Kendrick is. Dean used to work with me at Crime.
Oh, gosh, I thought he was a troll.
No.
I'm just kidding.
No, it's
Okay,
Dean.
I'm
We used to work together at Crime. So that's why you know Dean. That's how he knows me. So he's just trying to be, he's trying to be a smart, easy to clean up one part of San Francisco, push it problem down the street. Exactly. So that's what William says. Easy to clean up one part of San Francisco, just push the problem down the street. And that's kind of what they did. So they put half of their motorcycles out there with lights on, their cars with lights on. So every car around it was driving with their lights on to give like high presence. To make it look like, there was a lot going on. But once you got, like, we took one guy back to his hotel and we took him through the Tenderloin. And we was like, there's one lady who was literally living in a pile of trash. I mean, the trash was like a foot high and she was in the middle of it. And no one was like, okay, that's like normal. That's not normal.
No, that's not normal.
That's not normal. Never was.
That should never be normal.
Yeah. So there we go. Now, another thing going on, switch gears. You don't know this one. This is new. So someone posted this morning on Twitter that in Oakland, ready for this? I might have showed you this one. I think I talked to you about it.
You talked to me about it this morning.
49 cars. I wrote 50 on Twitter, but it's actually 49. I tried to count the thing and I counted 3 times. I got 50 were stolen in a 24-hour period. I can't count. Yeah. That's why I have accountants. That's what they count for me. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. Anyway, so imagine that many cars being stolen in a 24-hour period. And here's the part that's even crazy. One of them was stolen from a police station.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, at a police station?
At Oakland PD.
Wow.
I mean, you really don't. You have
balls.
They've been embrazened. It's not balls. They've been embrazened to commit crimes because they know that, number one, they're not going to get charged with anything. Number two, Oakland is short officers as well. And number three, it's just out of control.
That's crazy.
And, there's home invasion robberies. There are carjackings. I mean, it's everything. It's like a escape from, remember the movie Escape from New York?
Never saw it. So
there's a movie out a long time ago called Escape from New York. It was so bad that you had to get out of it, but they put a fence around it.
The movie was so bad, New
York was so bad.
Oh, okay.
They put a fence around it. So it's lawlessness in Oakland right now. And also, I posted some pictures of, you ready for this? The plug-in stations for electric cars that were stolen. They cut the cables. And it's not the first time they cut the cables. This is the second time. So I reached out to the company and asked them, are there any cameras that show what happened? They said, we have no cameras, but we're going to get it repaired right away.
The camera?
No, the cords.
Oh, the cord. Oh my God. Why? Sorry, I misunderstood. Okay, yeah. That picture that you posted of the cords looked really bad.
Well, it is really bad. They cut them off. I mean, I wish in a perfect world, those cords would have been charged and then they would have got a shock of their lives, but of course we don't live in a perfect world. I think they should run some voltage through it. So next time you cut it, hello, electric.
Or goodbye.
Electric Avenue.
Betty Veronica says, Stanley, do you think that there should be different task force areas in law enforcement, like some can handle specially trained, like for mental health, others can handle just auto theft, etc. I think there aren't there? So
there are special task force. The problem with law enforcement now is that we've made cops everything. I mean, the only thing they don't do now is deliver pizzas. And if we could figure out a way to do that, I'm sure we would have. But we want them to be the psychologists. We want them to be their job is to enforce laws, but we've given them so many job hats that it's hard, So now they want them to be psychologists. And it's like, that's a lot. It's like we worked in news and we had like 20 different jobs.
Yeah, and we still got paid the same.
And we
got paid only for the one job.
And no, Dean, car alarms will not prevent the thefts. Some people are putting air tags in their car. And non-visible places so they can track their car.
I also feel like that makes your car a target, right? Because it emits the blue.
It emits a
signal.
blue signal, but I'm starting to think that it may not be a bad. I read up on it that today. I did some reading up on AirTags from Apple, and some people say it's a good idea to put one in your car.
In your car?
But someplace where the bad guy won't find it.
Okay.
So like tape it inside your upper part of your glove box.
Okay, well now we're just giving out all of the locations.
We're not giving out all the locations. We're basically saying that you can put it in places where it's not totally visible and they can't just find it right away and throw it away. So I'm actually thought about investing in some AirTags because of that. But I don't know how, I don't know if is that subscription based?
I don't know.
Because everything is subscription based.
I'm not really sure how they work actually.
Some people are putting flash bombs in their car. SF said they're using bait cars. I haven't seen a bait car, but I tell you what I think should be done. So here's what I think should be done. There needs to be enforcement on people wearing masks to commit crimes. There is a law in the books in California that makes it illegal to wear a mask to conceal your identity to commit crimes. That needs to be enforced with teeth. What does that mean by with teeth? I think that if you get caught doing that's one of those that how you go to court, they hit you with a bunch of charges, and then the lawyer comes back and cuts some of the charges out. So his job is to whittle it down. But I think just like if you have a car and your car is the cop tells you need to go and see a what do you call them? A referee because your car doesn't meet state qualifications, then you have to see the referee. You can't just sign off on it. So I think the mask thing should be a guaranteed court case. You have to go into court. You can't buy out of it. I think they should put some teeth in that law. And then, if they want to bring back the mask mandate, that's just going to make it worse. I mean, I'm not trying to get into the politics of a mask, but they abuse the mask thing. I hear 100%. I saw a guy yesterday in Target in Daly City with the mask on as him and his girl walked out with a scooter. So it's just, and you shouldn't have to wait in line for somebody to ring a bell so you can get a bar of soap.
You shouldn't have to ring a bell to get a bar of soap.
Yeah. So the problem, and you're right, Dean, the government is a problem. You can remove the AirTag speaker so bad guys can't find it. No subscribers. Okay, I like that.
What's the AirTag speaker?
I have to look into it more.
What is that?
I don't know. I've never looked into it, but if it helps people get their products back, I'm all for it. I just hate it when people capitalize on a problem by making money off of it, but it doesn't solve the problem. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, a lot of companies will see an opportunity to capitalize on it, to make money on it, only to find out that the thing that they're capitalizing off of doesn't really work.
Well, they're also just using it to treat one of the many things versus actually attempting to treat whatever the root cause of something is.
Yeah.
Just the root cause of the crime.
Just like California now, we have a problem with gun violence. So, and the people committing the gun violence are criminals. They are criminals. I mean, you might have a percentage that are like domestic violence or whatever, but most of the cases, I watched them rob the guy yesterday on video, construction workers. The guy pulls up, walks up, puts a gun to his ribs, and then goes to his pockets while he's robbing them in Oakland. So and they're getting guns that they're painting orange to look like Nerf guns.
They're fake.
Right. They make them look fake. They're getting guns. They scribble off the serial number. These are criminals.
Yeah, they're not going to follow the law.
They're not following laws. Number one. But what the government tried to do is we're going to impose an 11% tax on ammo, guns, and manufacturing.
But the people that are getting the guns illegally probably.
Hello, Jerry Go Nuts.
So saying the people that are getting the guns illegally probably aren't paying for the ammo.
No.
So they're not paying for the tax. It's the gun owners that are following the law that are going to have to pay the tax.
So the law-abiding citizens pay the tax while the criminals, drive across the border and pick them up from another state and bring them back in a truck or steal them off of other places or rob. They've been robbing gun stores by tying trucks up to the gates and yanking the gates off. So the only people that benefit, and it's just another way to tax, people in law-abiding citizens. Yeah. They're getting taxed.
Yeah.
And the criminals are still going out being criminals. The criminals are criminal, whatever you call it. Criminals will be criminals. But who pays it?
We do.
Right. Just like they want to put
the law-abiding citizens.
So what do you think about them putting speed cameras in California on the freeways?
I mean, speeding is a problem, right? Is it going to solve the problem?
Well,
I mean, they
remember,
can put the speed cameras all they want, but if they don't enforce anything.
No, in California, in Arizona, they had speed cameras. Back in 2010, they got rid of them. Two reasons. Number one, when people saw the speed cameras on the side of the road, they slammed on their brakes. Oh, I don't want to get a speeding ticket. So they immediately broke real hard to avoid getting a speeding ticket. So it caused crash. Number two, the governor back then said that it's just a gouge. You know, we had the CHP. That's their job, to go out there and write tickets. Now, what will happen is one of these what was that noise?
I think that was the bathroom.
Oh, one of the governors.
But I heard it through here.
Yeah, I heard it too. I know you've seen what's going on in Bernal County. The governor, yeah, they put a ban on guns for 30 days,
yeah,
but then
you were telling me about
but then
that.
a judge ruled that it was unconstitutional. So here's what's going to happen with the whole 11% gun.
Thanks, big bucks.
Thank you, big bucks. You know what? I don't even have my my chat popped up.
Yeah,
here.
William says speed cameras equals revenue generators.
Yeah, and you know, so if it's 11 miles, if you're 11 miles over the speed limit, the ticket is $50. If you're 25 to 20 to something like that, then it's higher. Then it's like $100. And if it's over 100, then it's like $500. But here's what I said on Twitter, and here's a good example. So all the cars stolen. People are stealing plates off of cars and using them to commit crimes with. They're the ones going to be doing mostly. I mean, we've seen them though. Regular drivers just blowing by us, but these criminals, they usually go across the bridges to avoid tolls. They're speeding away, and these cameras are going to catch these cars, but the license plates are going to come back to a stolen vehicle. So who gets the ticket? They usually be like, "Oh, this is your car. It came back to your plate," because it's done electronically. It's not like there's some guy going, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah." It's all done basically by bots.
Thanks, Dave Man.
Thank you, Dave Man, and thank you, Big Buck Bradley for the super chat, and Dave Man for the super chat. We appreciate it. So, hi Betty, hi everybody. If I missed you, hello. So, long story short, is that I see it being abused.
The speed cameras.
I do. I see it being abused because if someone else is using a car, it's going to be run by a computer. Computer's going to be like, "Oh, this car goes to this car," you know, and then
this driver.
So
goes
it's
to this
and
car, right?
and there's a $25 fee to fight it. So either way, you're going to pay, even if you didn't have anything to do with it.
Is this something that's going to be voted on, or are they?
No, they're doing it themselves. It's not even making it to the voting.
And this is where?
California.
All of California.
All of California.
Okay, and on freeways.
And they're also trying to pass SB 50.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Which is a new law that says that they can't pull over people for, like small things wrong with their car. So again, we're going down this rabbit hole. No one learned from San Francisco. No one learned. No one learned from Oakland. That should be and no one learned from LA. Those should be your litmus test for what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Mm-hmm. Prop 47 was originally made to let and Prop 57, they were supposed to like get rid of people low-level crimes out of jail.
Yeah.
But 57
to clear out the jails, right?
Yeah, but ended up letting a lot of felons out. And now guess what felons do? They do felon stuff. You think the felon went and got a ticket for Dreamforce? No.
Really?
I'm just saying. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Oh, so Jeanette says she amended it to parks and public areas. Folks are still protesting the ban. I passed one protest yesterday at the state fairgrounds. So the one on the ban for the concealed carry, right? The concealed carry weapons.
Now, if you, I talked to one of my a guy who deals with concealed weapons in California, and he said that in the history of California and concealed weapons, there has never been a crime committed by someone who went through the process of getting a concealed weapon, which is strong. But by the same token, California wants to, the training was 8 hours. Now it's 16 hours going to be. And every 2 years you have to requalify for 8 hours. So now that they made it legal to get a gun and get a concealed carry permit, it's now becoming a case of, everybody got their hand out trying to make money off of it.
But I also think the problem too is that in this whole debate on gun control and trying to lessen the amount of crime out there, I feel like the people that are suffering are the gun owners who abide by the law. What legislation they're creating is not hurting the people. And when I say hurt, meaning like penalizing or like cracking down on the criminals, it's really impacting the people that are gun owners and that abide the law and that do everything they can in their power to make sure that they're protecting themselves. And the ones that are creating, or the criminals, are the ones that are getting off with everything because they're criminals. They're not abiding by the law.
Exactly. I had another thought in my mind. I was waiting for you to finish yours, and I forgot what it was.
Oh, so you weren't actually active listening. You were thinking about your next thought.
No, that's why I forgot, because I was active listening.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Did you see the latest FBI stats? 3% of shootings stopped by good guy with a gun. Nice. I heard that it's going to cost somewhere around $1,000 to get a CCW. No, that's not
here in California.
No, not that high. It's going to be, so it depends on where you are. So some states, some counties want you to get a psych test, which you got to pay for the psych test.
What's gun guy?
Hmm?
What's quote unquote gun guy?
A guy with a gun, a concealed weapons.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, 6% were stopped by a guy who was licensed to carry a gun.
Oh, got it. Okay, yep.
All right. So getting away from the gun thing, because that's a slippery slope. We could be on it forever. Let's switch gears and talk about something you want to talk about.
What would that be?
I don't know.
Oh, so you're putting me on the spot?
Yes.
Oh, I don't like being put on the spot.
Yes, you do.
Oh, Gabriel says, I think gun guy was a typo for good guy.
Well, no, I think it meant gun guy.
Gun guy, someone that is carrying legally. This is a topic I have no idea about, says Anon. Yeah, I mean, I think one of the big reasons why it keeps coming up with us is because we are constantly watching people talk about gun control in a way that isn't actually solving the problem. That is just letting the criminals still be criminals. Like the focus needs to be on the criminals. It needs not to be on the people that are following the law. That's how it should be. But instead, it's not. The law is not focusing on the criminals because the criminals don't give a about the law.
Just like they passing another law that says that if you work at a business and they're shoplifting, you can't stop them.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, you can't stop them. In fact, you can't stop them. You can be, and if you try to, you'll be fined.
You'll be fined $17,000.
$17,000, right? So who are the victims? Is it the business owner or is it the criminal?
I like to talk truthful about issues like speed cameras, but everything is our feelings. How can individuals make a difference? Well, I mean, the way you make a difference is, I don't want to get into politics, but it's who you vote for.
And it's who you listen to and talk to. Like, where they have these like meet and greets with who are your congressmen, who are the people, who are the what do you call it? The people, the supervisors in your area. Like when they have these meet and greet them.
Show up.
Yeah, show up, talk to them,
and voice your opinion.
It's like you never really know if they're going to actually take what you say to heart, but you can try, right? This is the point of the meet and greets. The point of the meet and greets might also to be because they need a vote, but this is like your chance.
Yeah. So I like this one, and I say this 100 times. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Yeah, you always say that.
I say it over and over and over again.
D-Man said that, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. Anon says, personally, the gun debate is basically between Cali in one side of the spectrum and Texas on the other side.
Yeah, it's like two different spectrums. So this spectrum here, no one should have a gun. The other spectrum, everybody should have a gun.
Opposite, right? It's like one's like, look, we've got to honor the Second Amendment and what?
Yeah, you're right.
The Second Amendment. You looked at me like I said the wrong amendment. I was like, no, it's the Second Amendment.
No, I'm listening to you intently.
Okay. And then the other side is like, no, we can't have guns at all. It's like one extreme or the other. Like, whatever happened to people like meeting in the middle when it comes to like anything? I guess it is actually really hard because people don't want to meet in the middle. People want it to be either one way or the other. But I think that's how we get into these situations where we can never agree and we never get stuff done, and the criminals will just keep criminalizing. Right?
Criminalizing. I like that.
They'll just keep committing crimes.
I like that. The criminals will keep criminalizing. I'm gonna get a t-shirt. Criminals will keep criminalizing. Diane Faith.
Let's not go on that. Jeanette says, I've met with my mayor and councilman many times. And have you seen any kind of change? Like, or have they talked to you? Did they seem like they were, actually listening to you, or?
Yeah, I don't know, but D-Man wrote, I understand that pretty soon you can expose to carry.
Where, in California?
No, it says exposed to carry.
Meaning like you can open carry?
That never happened in California.
Betty Veronica says, true, it's always good to read and watch different news sources. I attended a town hall of my new representative and it does help. Yeah, because I mean, like I think who was it, 42 Luke said, like, it's feelings. And that's the thing is like, how do you create, so it's like thoughts go into feelings and feelings then hopefully will become action, right? It's like you can feel all that you want, but if you don't actually try to go out there and do something, and I know that it can be hard because we feel like we're small and we have no control, right? But like, can you imagine if everyone just said that? Then nothing will get done. But it only takes like, a few people to like try to make a difference. And then those people can influence more people. And then next thing you know, you got a huge group.
Yeah, the problem we have now with these, every time we have a mass shooting, which is a lot right now, it lowers the, everybody's like, oh, with no guns. And then when you hear that the guy brought the gun legally, you realize, well, then see, he got a gun legally, he still committed a crime. But what I'm saying is that people who get the background checks for concealed carry, which is extensive, the background check for concealed carry is no joke. It's very extensive, and they look at everything. To buy a gun, you just have to fill out a form, and they do a quick background check, a 10-day, and that's in Arizona.
Well, that's in California.
In California now, in Arizona, if you have a CCW, you can walk out the door with the gun the same day.
Yeah.
If you don't, then it's a 10-day waiting period.
Bill Van Ram says, I spoke to a San Mateo County politician who was proud he prevented a gun store from opening in Daly City. Yeah, that's like most, I think most California politicians are against guns.
Well, they're against it because their constituents.
They equate it with the crime that we're seeing. They equate it with the homicides we're seeing. They equate it with people dying. But the problem is that the people that own the guns legally, and again, I don't know full-blown stats, so, but those are the ones that you don't need to be afraid of. It's the ones that are breaking the law.
Yeah, but like Anna said, it's about how one interprets the Second Amendment, and everybody has a different interpretation of what they think it means.
That's true, too.
And some people just read the headline, and that's it. Question, where is the nearest gun range from San Francisco? I believe there's one called there's one in South San Francisco. I believe it's Jackson Arms.
Is that one still open?
I believe it is. And then I think there's another one that's going to be opening soon at the Sheriff's Range at Coyote Point. After that, I think the next range, we went to one in Monterey.
But the one before that is the one in Los Gatos.
Los Altos.
Is it
Los Gatos? But it's called Los Altos Gun.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. The Los Altos Gun Range.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I read on the thing that's still open.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jackson Arms was shut down. Okay. Well, I went online and it said it was still there. So
Betty Veronica says, if law enforcement and military have to have extensive training, then shouldn't civilians have something compatible for us?
I agree, but the problem is that there are some people that are so bent out of shape if you mention the word gun that it's like cursing Jesus' name to them. They just don't want anything to do with guns. Guns are bad. Guns kill people. But I mean, yeah.
Guns, well, okay. I was gonna say guns don't kill people. I think it's the people that are holding the guns that kill the people.
Well, remember that one
Right?
day I threw a bullet at you?
Yes, yeah. He tried to show me an example. He threw the bullet at me. Yes.
Well, I didn't throw it like hardcore. I just tossed it at you.
Mhm.
And you said, "Why did you throw that bullet at me for?" And what did I say? Did it hurt you? No. You know why? Because bullets can't hurt you. Unless, of course, they're with a gun and someone squeezes the trigger.
Right.
And if I set the gun down for a week and I come back, guess what? It's just still sitting there. No one died. So you need someone, usually it's an idiot with a gun that causes the problems.
Right.
But we don't know that. All we say is guns. And I'm not trying to say that I'm by any way, shape, or form, it's my opinion that we are looking at the wrong people when it comes to gun control. But the criminals are going to be criminals, and the politicians know that they can't wrangle criminals, so they wrangle regular citizens.
But see, that's where I don't understand. Like, maybe you can explain this to me then. So, because you can't get to the criminals, you want to get to the people that are following the law.
Right.
So, because you can't get to the criminals, you want to penalize the business owner that tries to make sure that he keeps his business safe by defending himself and whatever, doing what he needs to do to protect his property. So you want to penalize him?
Well,
like I don't.
Well, they say that you shouldn't kill somebody over property crimes.
Well, I mean, personally, I don't think property versus life. Of course, I don't think property is versus a life, but you got to look at the circumstance individually. If the person that was trying to steal the property put a gun to the business owner's head, then his life was in jeopardy, and it was no longer about the property at that point. It was about the business owner's life. The business owner then decided that he wanted to defend himself. He should be able to defend himself.
Well, okay. So here's how you can look at it. So the same people who are against guns are the same ones that will say, well, you shouldn't have had to shoot him. You had to kill him. You could shot him in the arm, shoot him in the leg, shoot him in the hand. You know why?
Okay, but then
because they got it from TV.
If you shoot him in the arm or shoot him in the leg or shoot him in the hand, and he shoots you with the other hand in the head, then what?
Good point.
I mean, my whole, I'm not, okay, just so you know, like, I'm trying to just, I'm having this discussion with you because I'm trying to understand why if you can't get the criminals, why do you have to go for the people that are actually doing right? Why don't you just put more resources into getting the criminal?
Yeah.
Get the criminals. That should be your focus. Always the criminals. You don't need to target the people that are following the law, because then you can't focus on finding or penalizing the criminals anymore.
Now,
what is the point?
Can we make it clear by that? When we first met, you weren't really into the gun culture. You didn't know much about it. But then when I taught you a lot of stuff, now you understand a little bit more.
Well, and I think that's what needs to happen with people. People have to have these conversations where it's like, yeah, like, I might not feel comfortable with guns, or I might not know anything about them, but that doesn't mean that I completely turn myself off. Let me hear what you have to say. And if you have something that I can learn and I can take it with me and apply it, then great. If I found nothing from it, then fine too, but at least I heard you. But I hate it when I try to talk to somebody about something and they completely want to shut me out because they don't agree. But it's like they can't sit and try to listen to me, and I'm open to listening to them. It's like the same thing with politics. I know we don't do politics, but if someone is from an opposing party than me, or they want a point, they want to tell me something, I'll hear you out. I may not agree with you, but I'll still want to hear you out, because you might teach me something I didn't even know, or you may open my eyes to something I may not even realize. And guess what? Then that can get the ball rolling where we can meet somewhere in the middle, versus you still over here and I'm still over here.
Good point. Very good point. Excellent.
I try to meet people where they are, and we'll try to figure out, like, can we meet
a happy medium?
Middle? Yeah, happy medium.
But for some people, there are no happy mediums.
No,
it's just my way or the highway.
I'm aware of that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I will listen. Civil discourse. Well, I'm glad you like that. The art of conversation. So yeah, civil discourse is important. But some people don't want to have civil discourse. They just want to say my way or the highway. We learned a lot about guns and people. You don't learn a lot about guns in California because they had such strict gun laws.
Mhm.
But when you went to Arizona, it changed a lot. It gave me a new perspective as to um, how things are dealt with in different states. So, like for instance, if you were in Lake Tahoe, on one side of Lake Tahoe, you had to have a concealed weapon, and on the other side of Lake Tahoe, or on the Nevada side, you had to have it exposed.
Mhm.
It's like this is interesting how the laws work, and every state has a different law.
Every state does. Yeah, every state does have a different law.
Yeah, I agree. I don't listen to people who don't have the capacity to have an adult
Yeah.
conversation.
Same here. Like if I can't have a conversation with, like, if you can't listen to me and then I can't listen to you, then there's no point. Like it has to be talk, listen, listen, talk. Like give, receive, right? It
Mhm.
can't just be one way. Friendships, relationships can't be that way either, where you just have it be one way.
Mm-hmm.
No way. I'm not talking about me and you. I'm just saying in general. Why you look at me like that? We don't have a one-way relationship.
I didn't say nothing.
I know, but
Are you feeling guilty over there?
No, I'm not. But why are you looking at me like that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jerry Go Nuts says, so how do I get a concealed
Well,
permit?
do you live in California? Then you got to go to your sheriff's department and put an application for it, and be prepared for them to go up to you with a microscope and check everything. I've been 40 years of bad press against guns and gun owners. What needs to be a public relations campaign that portrays gun owners in a positive light and talks about the facts of gun crimes. I think that'll never. I agree, but I don't think.
I agree with that too. I don't think that will ever happen. Want to know
in
why?
California.
Want to know why?
Why?
Because the easy way to do something is to be against it when you don't understand it.
Yeah.
You can't like California, for example, like majority of California is like anti-gun, right? The problem is that why are these people anti-gun? Maybe they don't understand it. Maybe they're scared of it. And that's where it's like the education of like, saying what the facts about gun crimes really are. Like what if everybody, I don't know, this might be a really wild thought, okay?
Uh-oh.
What if part of schooling?
Oh, no.
No.
I know.
No.
No.
Wait, what?
I know.
What was I gonna say?
Why can't part of schooling be about learning about guns?
What? No. Here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that like they need to put a gun in front of you. You need to learn how to like rack it and like load it.
No, I know.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is okay. What are the things that people don't understand a lot of like in their adult lives? What is one thing that you've grown up in life not really understanding much about, but you wish you did?
Carbohydrates.
Okay, that's interesting. All right. Really?
No.
Or are you just saying that just to say that? Because I was like, I don't like your carbohydrates. Okay. Okay, so nutrition might be one of them, right?
All right.
Okay, so like one thing that I knew that I grew up and realized I didn't know a lot about, and this is gonna be like maybe some of the men are gonna be like, ew, gross. But I really wish that I had learned more. I wish I had learned more about the menstrual cycle and all of the different cycles that go along for a woman's body, because women's bodies have 4 cycles and we live on a 28-day cycle versus a man who lives on a 24-hour cycle. And I learned a lot of this through like my holistic nutrition and like
ew.
Really? And anyways, and my wellness programs. And so I wish that was something I had learned about growing up more so in detail, because I think that would have made better decisions. So my whole point of saying this is, what if we could teach people, like teach, I don't know, I don't know if high school is, I don't know the age, but we could just teach them about what a gun is and like the statistics about it and crime, and do you know what I mean, or I'm not making any sense? Am I not making?
No, you're making sense. But read
what
I remember Anon wrote. I put it on there.
A topic. Oh, what?
It's on the screen.
Topic I know should be taught. Yes, finance should definitely be taught. I agree with you on that. That's a good topic. I agree with that.
And then
I definitely would. But I grew up with parents that were very good with their finances, so I learned that way. But there is always so much more to learn.
So Gabriel said he learned a lot of inappropriate things from me. Hey, I'm a bad influence.
When I was going to Stanley save the day. Oh gosh, did Stanley really save the day though?
Save the day, Areola.
Oh, Lord. Jerry Go Nuts says, when I was in high school, I was in the JROTC rifle team. We had a gun range at school, and we competed against other high schools. No worries about guns back then. Yes, we had a JROTC rifle team group in my high school, too.
We never had it at our school. We had Jimmy on the corner with a 12 gauge.
I wasn't part of it, but I kind of just think that, like, if there are so many things that we often grow up as adults and we don't know much about them, and we wish we'd have learned them in school. So we do learn things in school, but how much of that we learn in school do we actually use today, right? So I don't know. I just think that, like, guns in some sort of capacity should be a part of that education. I don't know what that education looks like, to be honest. I don't know what that the curriculum would look like. But I think to some extent, that should be part of education.
Okay, it's
so
funny.
that you're not scared of it and you understand it.
So I'm looking at Twitter right now.
And
right?
we're frozen?
No. Look how many people it says on Twitter.
3.
Right. But we have a whole lot more than that on here.
Mm-hmm.
So Twitter's deceitful. It only shows 3 people, but it's actually a whole lot more. So if you're on Twitter right now and you're listening, you can go and find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/Mr. Badley TV, or is it just Mr. Badley?
Mr. Badley TV.
Yeah, so you can join us and you can even get involved in the chat.
I'm mad at William. He's like, a woman's body is the easy part. It's a woman's mind that's hard to figure out.
I agree, 100%. 100%.
Okay, well, William, you need help with a woman's mind. I throw some questions in the chat and I'll try to help you out. Bill Van Ram says, Metcalf Park Shooter Range in San Jose is a nice outdoor range. Sunnyvale Rod. Oh, yeah, I have heard of the Sunnyvale Rod and Gun Club. I think that there's someone on Instagram that I follow that shoots there. So Bill Van Ram says, Lincoln High School in the city had a 2-lane 22 range in the 70s for ROTC. Nice. Yeah, I mean, D-Man says, Stand a Man. Can I get a Stand a Man sticker? D-Man wants a sticker.
All right. Well, send me a self-addressed stamped envelope.
Can I give you this one?
That's the invisible Stanley.
Hold on. Actually,
that's Stanley the Friendly Ghost.
Did you want this one? This is Stanley the Friendly Ghost. I'll hook you up. I'll hook you up if you want this one. Just kidding.
So it's funny because, when we first started Mr. Badley, before we added the TV to it, there were no Mr. Badley accounts. Now there's like 100 Mr. Badley accounts. And now, I don't know if they're mimicking me. They're not. I haven't seen it trying to use trying to steal our identity. But they're out there. And they should know, though, that trademark is pending. So if you have that name and using it, you may be in violation of our trademark. So just heads up. Also, if you're on Twitter or anything else,
D-Man says no.
You can give us a thumbs up on whatever channel you're watching us on. If you're doing stars, you can click some stars. If you can do, what's the other one? Super chat. You can dump something in there. Bits and Twitch. But we are here and we are square. And I can't think of what I was going to say next.
We're here and we are square.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
There's an old saying, but I said it wrong.
Oh, yeah, you definitely did. Betty Veronica says, our society is narcissistic in that we have people worried more about how they look in selfies than their mental and intellectual health and emotional wellness. And how they're,
what's funny about that? This is important because I remember that. 10 years ago, if you point a camera at somebody's kid, they would lose their damn mind. Don't put my kid on camera. How dare you? Get my kid off a camera. They're children. And now that's all you do is show the kids on camera.
Their kids help them make money.
Yeah. Now the kids have their own accounts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is so true. I would feel weird following someone's kid's account.
But you do.
I don't.
You do.
Who do I follow?
You follow the ones with the dancing ones there was a mom and her kid and they dance all the time and you were.
Yeah, but the child is an adult like me though. She's in her 30s.
No, I thought there was one you was following that was like an infant. And you thought, oh, she's so cute. Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
I follow the mom. The mom is the mom. She has the 3 daughters.
Yeah.
I follow the mom. I don't follow the kids' accounts.
Okay.
She has the kids' accounts listed there, but I find it weird to follow a child's account.
I think it's weird that we blur a baby's face when
when they're not well developed yet.
Yeah, it's like, so what are you gonna do? Like, well, I would know you, but your face was blurred when you were 5 years old, when you were 8 months old.
Yeah, I know that is kind of, I don't know, that's weird. They're like, their face isn't even developed yet.
Yeah.
Jeanette says there's a place here in Albuquerque called Calipers that has a gun range and classes on self-defense. Nice. And you know what? I think that would be a cool opportunity for people to take, like, self-defense. I mean, and the reality is, it is kind of sad that we have to take self-defense classes and do things to learn how to protect ourselves, because you would wish that we could live in a society where everyone would just follow the law and care about one another and be loving, but the world isn't perfect, so of course that's not happening. But it is really good to be able to do those kinds of things. Take those offers up if you have them. Right?
Right. Absolutely. Positively.
I was waiting to see what else you're going to say. Or I thought you were going to say now I don't know what I'm going to say.
Aha.
Indubitably.
Whatever. Oh, there's a liberal gun club.
Ooh, where's the liberal gun club?
I think it's a joke.
Oh, I was like, there's a liberal gun club? I don't understand. Show me where.
Anyway, guys. So.
Oh, wait. He says, does anyone know anything about it? No, I've never even heard of it.
I don't know. Liberal Gun Club. Let's look it up. LIBERAL Gun Club. CLUB. So there's the Liberal Gun Club is, in order to achieve our mission, we encourage new participants in the shooting sport and provide firearm safety. So there's a website called liberalgunclub.com. So
why do they call themselves liberal?
I have no idea. I mean, because you're liberal don't mean you're against guns.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that might be a misconception, though. Yeah. That if you're
people think that liberals are anti-gun. I never understood the liberal part. I have the idea.
I always think it's the opposite.
If you're liberal, you don't care. That's what I was thinking.
You're free for everything. You're open to everything. And if you're conservative,
then you're not.
You're not. You're closed-minded. That's what I think about when I think about the definitions.
So we don't know anything about it, but we found the website. So it's liberal.
Yeah.
Gunclub.com, and they're located in California, I think.
No, there's something here about Michigan. I think they might be national. Well, there's something about Virginia and Michigan, but maybe this is just a news section about us.
Anyway. We're going to wrap this puppy up in a few minutes.
Ooh, puppy?
Yeah, this bad puppy.
We provide a voice to gun owners who do not subscribe to the right-wing rhetoric surrounding firearm ownership by engaging the public on important firearm issues. That's just one of the lines in this What We Do section.
All right. Well, something to look into.
Interesting, yeah.
So we just gave them a plug, even though we didn't mean to give them a plug.
Yeah, I might have to look into this. Thank you for sharing, Jerry Go Nuts.
So one thing I'm trying to learn now, and
he says there's a California chapter.
So here's the funniest thing. So I put out a tweet a while back about learning about. I'm becoming more one of those survivalist type people. All the stuff going on, I'm like, how do we, survive the Holocaust?
You and your ham radio.
But yeah, I thought about getting into ham radio, so I put a tweet out about ham radio.
I saw that book.
I got a book. Somebody mailed me a book about how to get my ham radio license. All these people came out of woodwork to tell me about. And then one of the people, small world. One of the people that came, that is head of the ham radio coalition in the United States, was someone who came to me many, many years ago to critique their work as a journalist. And so they were like, oh, Stanley wants to be a ham operator.
Let me help him out.
Yeah, so I got the book. And I haven't called him back and said, thank you, I got the book. But I do got to read it.
So if you're watching, he thanks you for the book.
Thank you for the book. I did get it, and I am trying to read it.
But still, you should call.
So anyway, guys, we appreciate you as usual. as I always say, you can be anywhere today. What?
I'm just reading some of the comments.
What?
Bill Van Ram says the perception is that gun people are white conservative men. A trip to any range proves different.
Yeah.
That's true. A trip to any range does prove different. You see all sorts of different people at the range.
Yeah.
Women and men. I love it when I see women at the range.
I shot a Desert Eagle the other day in Monterey. Oh my God, that thing was so loud that even my eyes and ears were hurting.
Is that the video? That's the video I shot of you, right?
No, you didn't shoot any video. That's the one. No, that's not the.
Oh, that was the one that was next. The one
with
yeah.
the one that was so big it shook your teeth.
The one with the nice color though. It was like a tannish color. Yeah. Well, I mean.
And then I got to shoot a 22 long rifle with the laser. Oh, speaking about lasers, I got me a laser. A laser.
How fun.
Ooh, I can't wait. But I think that everybody, I really do believe that before you take up getting a firearm, that you should get training. And number two, before you can get a CCW, you have to have a weapon that's approved. So don't try to put you have to get a gun to apply for a CCW because they take the serial number and it's included in the paperwork so that it's registered back to you. And then
so you can't be like, oh, let me get my CCW and I'll buy the gun later.
Later, doesn't work
that way.
And they have a thing here called a roster, which right now it's supposed to go away. But right now with the roster, only certain guns can be sold in California, except for law enforcement. They don't have to deal with the roster. They can buy. And then because they think everybody's a moron, they put what you call here is little tabs. So if you buy a gun in California right now, any gun you buy has a little thing that pops up that says it's loaded.
Oh, and it also says this. Oh, yeah, that's right. This firearm is loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they think people are too dumb to know that they have a loaded gun.
I mean,
that's why you have training.
That is why you have training. But then some people, okay. So the thing too is that some people do make mistakes. So that's why that's there.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, training will help you not make those mistakes.
Right. Like you don't sweep the room. And when I say sweep the room,
I know what you mean.
If you're a gun owner, that means, you don't take the gun and go, ooh, you assume that it's always loaded even when it's empty.
And if you point your gun at something, that has to be something you are willing to
destroy.
Kill. Yeah.
Not kill, just destroy.
Destroy, yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes, you can't kill a wall. That's right.
Right.
I used the wrong choice of words.
The media always shows an angry, overweight, low-income white guy. And then they talk about gun owners.
That's why there's a need for
positive PR campaign about gun owners. Yeah, if you watch the videos.
Overweight, low-income white guy. Sorry, William. That's super detailed.
They show Bobo from the trailer park.
That's super detailed. I have to think about that one because, I'm gonna now that you say that, I'm gonna have to look out for that because as someone who worked in the media, I don't ever remember that as being a description.
So is the big guy with the big AR-15 over his shoulder. I'm here to protect everybody. I mean, you can't even run 5. Yeah, chase me down the block. Meet me outside. How about that?
An angry, overweight, low-income white guy.
Yes, at the range, always put the gun down range. There's a lot of things you have to do to be a good, safe gun owner. Mm-hmm. And if the guns are not for you, then they're not for you. But don't criticize someone else because they made a decision that you don't like.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank. Because everybody has things that other people don't like. Like I don't like the smell of cigarette smoke.
I don't either.
But I can't tell a guy, hey, can you put your cigarette out because I don't like the smell. I just avoid it.
I just don't try to walk through the guy's smoke.
I've never once in my life I've written a letter to Del Monte Vegetables and tell them that I hate broccoli, stop selling it.
Well, I think too, we've come to a place where if we don't like something, we try to change people or their habits so that they don't do what we don't like. When in actuality, we can't do that.
Word.
We can try to educate if we want, but the thing is too is that they need to be willing to want to hear it or learn something. But I mean, you can't change people.
That's right.
You shouldn't have to change people either.
You tell them. All right.
Oh, dang, John just showing up.
Wow,
He
John.
said, hey, Boomy, sorry I'm late. John, I heard about you last week. You took my place, and I think that is awesome. Would you like a permanent position? Because I'm just thinking. I was just kidding. So because I'm thinking about resigning. No, I'm joking. I'm not. But awesome. But thanks, John, for coming on. Not yesterday. Sorry, last Sunday. Beeb, I love you. I'm not leaving.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Betty Veronica says Stanley should start a gun safety and traffic safety school.
Well, no, you know what? If you want gun safety, I recommend Cyber Tactics. Is it cyber or saber? Saber
Tactics, yeah.
They're located in Foster City, I believe, and they offer training. And they're from either retired or regular cops that offer this training to teach you how to become good at what you do. The biggest problem we have is accidental shooting.
Yes, Saber Tactics, Jerry. That's right.
Yes, Saber Tactics, yes. So, and how do you have an accidental shooting? Because you're not trained to operate a firearm. And then also, if you're going to buy a first gun, and this is my opinion and my opinion only, but I'm going to say it anyway, do not buy a Glock for your first gun. Get a gun with a safety so you can, because the Glock, more accidental shooting coming from Glocks because people don't realize that the trigger and the safety are on the trigger. So if your finger bumps it by accident, boom, you have a discharge. And depending on where you are with the discharge, if it goes through your house, it can go downstairs. If you're in an apartment complex, it can go through the wall. Or, I mean, the worst, the least you can do is put a hole in your wall and you got to fix it. The worst you can do is put a hole through the floor and hit somebody down below. But even trained people have shot themselves with the Glocks. Now, I'm not saying don't buy a Glock, but I'm saying if that's your first gun, I recommend a gun with a safety. When I first brought my first gun, I brought a gun with a safety for several reasons. I had little kids. They weren't going to be exposed to them. But if by chance, by accident they were, then the chances are they wouldn't be operated. But then again, my guns were not around my kids. They were already, when I first got my first gun, they were already like teenagers. So it wasn't an issue of them finding it somewhere. It was always locked away in a safe. And that way, no one got injured by it. And if I took it out, it was for me and not for them. Although my daughter did see me one day, we came home and my door was open. And so I drew and walked through the house because I didn't know why the door was open. Turns out that as a distracted dad, to take her out, I forgot to close the door.
To your front. Oh, this was at C.
Yes.
C
Spring.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, my first, what do you call it? My first what am I trying to say? My first experience with a gun was when my dad would
walk through the house with a paper bag over it,
a gun and put a paper bag over it to like check the house to make sure it was safe. Yeah.
So one more thing I was going to say before we wrap this bad puppy up. Oh, look at that. Gnat.
Oh, wait, where?
I just saw it.
Near that?
Types about like harms. Get the training before you make it a purchase. Glocks are fine for the first time shooters and owners. Well, I still say my opinion is
6 hours.
6 hours is a good one.
P365.
Yeah. I like the one. My first one was my first gun was a Shield, Smith & Wesson Shield. Mm-hmm. My second one,
Springfield 9mm.
Yes.
D-Man says.
So my second one, which I love, when I grabbed that one, I knew that was my favorite gun ever, and that was a H&K 9mm USB. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's just you grab it and it felt like this is for me.
It molded to your hand.
It did. It was just like I can't believe this fits so well.
Oh my God.
I'll take 6.
I'll take 6. There you go. D-Man said HK.
Yeah, Heckler and Koch. Love it.
I always say Koch.
Don't.
I know.
Just let it go.
I stopped.
Let it go. Let it go.
Oh no, Jeanette. I know that wasn't a good experience.
Shoot his girlfriend during an argument. Yeah, see, that's it. HK-45s are nice too. Yeah, but I want something I can have. You know, if you get a 9mm with a certain kind of grade, it's just as good as a 45 because of the expansion. But I use FTX rounds, which are made not to go through walls. So it's for in-house home protection. So if you shoot somebody in your house that's breaking in, it doesn't go out unless it goes through a window, you can't stop that, but it doesn't go through walls. It's supposed to stop at that point. So those are like $29 for a box. About that big.
Well, soon to be 11 with tax.
With tax
11%, right?
Yeah, 11% of 29 is what? Really? So 10% of 29 is what?
$290.
Right.
I just didn't feel like adding. Okay, that's what Gabriel's here for.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Get a 57 cal.
Who said that?
Get a 50 cal. Now that's like the Grand Canyon.
Oh goodness.
That's why I lost family and friends to gun violence. One of the main reasons I ultimately moved out of LA. Yeah. If you don't know how to handle it, you can't, and it becomes a weapon of destruction, then you shouldn't have one. Period.
Yeah.
5.7 is not 57. 5.7.
Where did we see 5.7? Oh,
no, I thought the typo.
D-Man said get a 5.7 cal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 5.7.
All right. Anyway, I'm Millennial.
I'm a boomer.
Oh, wait. I didn't do my line. So you guys could be anywhere today. You chose to be with us. We appreciate that. Already. I was about to, but you cut me off.
Oh, sorry.
And before we started, we had a Philly cheesesteak. Oh, so good. I'm ready to go take a nap now.
Oh, that gave me energy.
Did it?
You had too much bread.
I'm kidding.
I'm just kidding.
But we appreciate you guys hanging out again. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate all of it. And we're working on a project, which we want to talk about till later. So if the project gets in the way of us doing a podcast, then we'll let you know.
Oh, next Sunday, will we be here? I know you have a.
Oh yeah, next Sunday I have something to shoot for someone. I hope to be done in time.
Okay.
It's a 4-hour shoot.
So it might be.
We'll know for sure. We'll let you guys know.
TBD.
To be determined.
Yes.
But we got to say goodnight. I'm Millennial and I'm a boomer. And
you're Millennial and a boomer?
No, I'm Millennial and you're a boomer.
But you said I'm a Millennial, I'm a boomer. Okay. You go.
Play music. You have to know that we're winding down. I hear it. I have it down low. How about now?
There you go. Sounds like crickets.
No, it doesn't. It's ambience.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm Millennial.
I'm a boomer.
We thank you guys for joining us. And don't forget, next Sunday is Yom Kippur. Thank you, Gabriel Shapiro. And may you enjoy it. If you're not here, we understand.
Bill Van Ram says meetup range day.
Oh, by the way, I do plan on having. I need to figure out how somebody can set this up. I want to have a potluck barbecue
at the range.
No,
just kidding. Just a joke.
And invite everybody that can get there. I know some of you guys are in other states, but if you can get here, we're going to try to have a potluck barbecue in San Mateo County at a park. Barbecue. I'll bring the meat. You guys just bring like side stuff, and we will turn up.
I'll bring your mac and cheese.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Everybody, have a good night.
Have a good night.
Yeah, look, Jerry goes, I heard barbecue.
Have a great week. Take care.
Remember, you are what you eat.
Remember, you are what you absorb.
Whatever.
Thank you for listening to Millennial Boom with Diane Faith and Stanley Roberts. Millennial Boom and Reasons Why Aliens Will Never Invade Earth and Caught Misbehaving videos are made possible through viewer donations. Check out www.linktree.com/MrBadleyTV to see how you can help. See you next week.